Crusader has been phased out of U.S. Navy service and currently serves only on board France's 2 carriers. Its current partner is the Dassault Breguet Super Étendard, which flies in the attack role. The Super Étendard's most important weapon is the Exocet missile as used by the Argentines during the Falklands conflict. The Lockheed S-3A Viking anti-submarine aircraft can undertake the tasks of considerably larger land-based platforms, yet is still small enough to be carried in useful numbers by each of the U.S. Navy's first-line aircraft carriers. Vikings operate in a screen around the carrier task force, carrying 2 flight crew and 2 tactical crew. In this sequence, a patrolling Viking is handing over to another aircraft, passing on tactical information which enables its replacement to take up position automatically over a possible target. A sonobuoy is released automatically and its position and type put up on the tactical plot. The second Viking is now in charge of the hunt, and the sensor operator checks his display against the acoustic fingerprints of known submarine types to get a precise identification.
Maypole 25 is up and sweet.
The operators also have access to information provided by the Viking's search radar and magnetic anomaly detector. All acoustic and tactical data are routinely taped for subsequent analysis back on board the parent carrier. The data can also be fed back in real time to the carrier's Combat Information Center so that developments can be assessed and additional aircraft deployed if necessary.
Combat, we've confirmed 704's contact.
Roger, SW, thank you. Flag, GAO.
As the threats during this exercise increase, the air traffic controller takes steps to harden the carrier's defensive screen.
Admiral Flag 2.
The Viking is powered by a pair of economical General Electric TF-34 turbofans and possesses excellent loiter capability. This allows the aircraft's electronic support measures system to listen for hostile emitters such as radar, whose nature and location are then fed into the evolving tactical plot.
Madman, madman.
Given this constant updating of the tactical situation, there is little chance for a hostile to remain undetected.
This time I'd like to lay a barrier down his track for a good CPA.
Possible contacts are investigated with a new barrier of sonobuoys, and the electronic net closes steadily on any target. Here, the Viking's great weapon capability comes into play. Ordnance is carried in a fuselage weapons bay and on 2 underwing hardpoints to a maximum weight of 7,000 pounds. Loads can include nuclear depth bombs, mines, or lightweight acoustic torpedoes. Patrol time can be extended by in-flight refueling from a Grumman Ka-6 intruder, the real limitation to endurance being crew fatigue, despite the excellently designed flight deck and tactical compartment. With refueling completed, the Viking returns to its mission, relieving another aircraft, or, as in this case, investigating a suspected Soviet submarine. Using the computer-stored data banks, the crew tentatively identify the approaching intruder. Information gathered during these contacts or exercises can be of great use in building up a library of information about possible threats. Finally, the task completed, or the barrier manned by another aircraft, the Viking returns home. The crew debrief and rest, and the aircraft is turned around for the next mission. To meet the threat of future submarines, Vikings are being upgraded to S-3B standard with modernized electronics and the ability to carry the Harpoon anti-ship missile.
I was looking into both the Air Force Academy and Naval Academy, and there were a couple of factors that went into my decision-making process. However, I decided that, hey, Air Force pilots, they can go out there, they do the same mission the Navy pilots do, but they come back to 10,000 feet of runway that's in the same spot that it was when he left. However, a Navy pilot launching off the carrier goes out, does his mission, has to come back and find the carrier, first of all, and then land on it, especially at night. And I said, hey, you know, I want to go with those guys because I think it's probably a little tougher and they're a little bit better. Obviously, I'm prejudiced now, but I still feel that way.
As the British discovered during the Falklands conflict, forewarned is forearmed, and Grumman's odd-looking E-2C Hawkeye is the ultimate naval force multiplier, providing a superb early warning and control system for U.S. Navy carrier groups. The two Allison turboprops and unswept flying surfaces may make the E-2C look old-fashioned, but the powerful surveillance radar with its antenna in the large rotodome over the fuselage combines with a passive radiation detector system and an advanced computer and tactical display system to enhance the effectiveness of the U.S. Navy's combat aircraft enormously. Only a few Hawkeyes are embarked on each carrier, but individual aircraft can patrol for 4 hours at a radius of 200 miles. The powerful radar searches the airspace between sea level and 100,000 feet, out to a range of 230 miles. Its advanced processing system paints a picture of land masses and picks up fighter or missile-sized targets amongst land or sea clutter. Within this 3 million cubic mile volume, the Hawkeye's active and passive systems allow the 3-man tactical crew to track between 250 and 300 surface and aerial targets and handle up to 30 intercepts.
I believe I hold a bogey about 308, 142.
The Hawkeye's capabilities are not just defensive. U.S. Navy attack aircraft can be guided and warned by the E-2's electronic systems. This makes for greater accuracy in attack and reduces losses to the strike force. For U.S. service, the type is under constant development in terms of its radar, electronic support measures, and tactical control systems. Based on the Electra airliner, the Lockheed P-3 Orion is the West's most important patrol and anti-submarine aircraft. The latest Orion variant is the P-3C with a flight crew of 5 and an advanced suite of sensors and plotting equipment manned by a tactical crew of 5. Orion operates from long land runways so that it can lift off with maximum fuel and a large load of weapons.
Foxtrot 06, Roger. Clear for takeoff over Fort Lake TV, level at 2000.
Roger. Ready to go. Here we go. Roll. Horsepower normal rated. Right.
Once on station, the Orion can patrol for at least 3 hours at a radius of 1,500 miles from base. 1 or 2 engines can be shut down and the propellers feathered for extended patrol duration. The Orion carries electronic support measures equipment and search radar for surveillance of vast sea areas. But the P-3 is basically a submarine hunter, and its main electronic weapon is the combination of sonobuoy and a highly capable processing system for acoustic data. Here, the operator has identified a Soviet submarine and informs the captain.
Tackle sensor 1, I believe I...
With the pressurized. Okay, get the freeform chute ready. We'll be putting diepar 15, diecast 2 way on top, out of smoke.
Roger, diepar 15 and diecast.
Roger, I got him. Tally ho, 11:30 just left of the nose.
Tackle sensor 1.
At the tactical coordinator's station, each sonobuoy, as well as the Orion's own movements, are tracked by a digital computer.
Roger, stand by, it's about 15.
Sequence, search by windows.
Roger, search bar. Got search bar?
John will be executing
The magnetic anomaly detector, or MAD, pinpoints the target's position. Throughout the action, the computerized tactical system handles the volume of data which would otherwise overwhelm the operators.
5 seconds.
Over long ranges, endurance is of course limited, but relays of Orions can be used for constant tracking of suspects. Ultimately, the Orion can attack with 20,000 pounds of assorted weapons tailored to specific targets. The deadly stores can include air-to-surface missiles, bombs of various types, up to 3 nuclear depth bombs, or 8 anti-submarine torpedoes. Carrying up to 6 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, the Orion can also provide a shield against surface attack. These powerful weapons have a range of more than 60 miles and enable the launch aircraft to attack from well outside the ship's air defense weapons. The P-3 is also a formidable mine layer. Up to 12,000 pounds of mines can be dropped in each sortie, enabling an Orion force to lay barriers at short notice across submarine and ship choke points. More humanitarian tasks that can be undertaken by the Orion are sea control and search and rescue. Particularly useful in this task is the forward-looking infrared sensor, which is trainable and provides long-range vision in poor weather conditions and at night.
Helps you be there by tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for your help.
The comprehensive nature of the Orion's tactical and plotting system allows it to build up a comprehensive picture of all shipping in its patrol area. The information is recorded on film and tape for more detailed analysis back at base.
Sensor 3 flight, be sure to get this on ERDS film. And TC, are you taking a look at this contact?
Roger, flight. I'll make sure intelligence sees this.
This is valuable in the program of continuous and overlapping data-linked patrols flown by the U.S. Navy's P-3s from major bases, an up-to-date picture of surface and submarine activity being passed on by each aircraft as it returns from patrol.